Hi. We are live.
I don't know what's happening. All right.
Hi, everybody. We are welcome to San Jose, and it is a Monday night, so it is time for another wine talk this evening. And we are really happy to join you today. We do apologize for the audio quality as there is some noise in the background. The roofers are still on the roof, which is fine because we need a new roof. So we will deal with it. We just hadn't planned for it to overlap with wine talk.
Their compressor is like right here.
Yes.
The air compressor.
So because we don't want the roof to leak on us, we will deal with the noise. So that is the noise that's in the background. We are having the roof done. So it's like, anyways, to help us deal with the noise, we are having a nice red wine this evening. Let's go ahead and take a look at the great wine we have. I've already poured it so you can see the bottle's a little bit empty. This is a Pinot Noir from California, and it is Dreaming Tree Pinot Noir, 2018 vintage right there, and a Pinot Noir. Now this one is actually a partnership between Dave Matthews. This is the label that he promotes. But this one is really nice. It's a nice, deep Pinot Noir. If you take a look at the color, it's almost a plum color or a boysenberry. It's really, really nice. I've taken a couple of sips of this.
I haven't.
Well, you should.
I was waiting for the description and all this stuff. And,
All right. So this nice Pinot Noir is medium bodied, so it's pretty accessible as it goes.
It's like dry but fruity.
It is. It's very fruit forward, low, medium, like really light
Kind
tannin.
of tastes like candy.
It is for a dry red wine. And then it's got a nice light finish. The first sip I wasn't really into it, but now that I've had a few sips, it's actually very pleasant. The finish is very, almost like a light vanilla. Yeah.
Vanillas and berry.
Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's really refreshing. So I'm enjoying it. So if you're just joining us again, this is the wine that we're enjoying this evening. Please let us know if you're enjoying an adult beverage as well. This is Dreaming Tree Pinot Noir 2018. Or if you're just drinking water, no worries. It's summer and it is hot. So we just want you here to watch us. So welcome. So tonight with Wine Talk, we are pairing this wonderful Pinot Noir with some more theme park stories for you. So as you know, Jose and I love the theme parks. We love going out to them. We are excited that they're opening, but we're going to take some time before we actually dive back into them. We want them to test and adjust, get the bugs worked out, and then we'll go experience the parks when it's more reasonable to do so.
We don't want to be the ones testing those things right now.
Yeah, we're still working, and we work with a lot of people, so we just think it's best for us to minimize how much we go out, just because we interact with a lot of people that we want to keep healthy. So that's what we do. So we go to work and back and go to the supermarket. So we're still, we have some plans to film some new videos coming up, but we're going to do those in a tasteful manner, like some of the drive-through attractions that are here and whatnot. So look out for some of those, and then we'll get back into the theme parks hopefully soon in the future. But with that being said, we do want to talk about the theme parks because we love them. Both Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, and all of the little periphery parks like Busch Gardens or all that. We love it. Yeah. We just love it. Right?
Yeah. Love all of them.
So if we were to tell a story, Jose, where would you take us first?
I don't know. I'm like trying to I have like so many stories in my head right now that I'm thinking of doing. And
roll the dice, pick one.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go with one when I used to work at Disney.
Okay.
Because you all like to, for some reason, you guys like the behind the scenes things that really a lot of people don't get to experience, or they go, oh, I never thought that would happen, but they do happen. So this one is going to be based in the Magic Kingdom. We're going to be heading over to Crystal Palace. That's a restaurant. That's a buffet. You have all the characters that say hi to you. You have Winnie the Pooh. You have Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore, and that's it.
The four.
Yeah.
The four.
And
they don't put Yellow Rabbit out very often.
No. So So my first time working there, I was working with Tigger that day. And if you are not familiar with a restaurant, which at that time I definitely was not, I was one of the extra people that they had. So they basically said, hey, just wait here for a little bit. If we find you a spot, then we're going to put you there. If not, then you just wait around all day, basically.
And when he says helping Tigger, yes, that's exactly what he means.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go in more detail than that. We don't need to. You know what we mean by that. We both worked at Disney and we both worked in entertainment, and that's...
I'm just hanging out with Tigger.
Yes.
Playing with
Tigger.
Tigger.
That's the verbiage we use because that's fine by us.
Yep. So they said, hey, Tigger needs some help over at Crystal Palace. And I said, all right, cool. Never been over there, so sure. Oh, don't worry, they'll walk you through everything. All right. I get there, I meet up with Tigger, and we go up to the restaurant, and they go, your next table is table 37. What does that mean? Who knows?
Let's find a map. Literally, let's find a map.
Let's find a map, and there's a map on the elevator.
Yeah.
To your right. Yeah.
All the tables are listed.
And you have to walk through the kitchen to get to the actual restaurant floor. But one of the fun things that happened there, for some reason, as I was playing with Tigger and saying hi to all of his friends, the cap that I wear decided to move up and kind of block my eyes, so I couldn't see anything that was going on.
Tigger was blind.
So at this moment, Tigger had no way to get around the restaurant and the table. So Tigger was in the middle of this hall, and it was actually right when they were giving me the little
sign for the parade.
That they do.
Stuff always went wrong right before the parade.
So I'm just stuck there with Tigger. Just
I don't know what to do.
And then they had to come and grab him and, try to figure this thing out. But at the same time that was going on, there was another parade going on the other side. So they couldn't really take me anywhere except try to take us both out of there, which was really weird because if you can't really see anything, somebody's just grabbing you and kind of leading the way. But then out of nowhere, hands get separated.
Yeah.
And then you just hear, Tigger, 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 all over the place, and people are trying to get your attention, and then people are trying to dance with you, and you just can't see anything. So that was one of those times there where you kind of stress and you kind of become, kind of anxious, but Tigger always finds his way and ended up being in the kitchen at the end of all that. But it was fine. It took a few times of running around and figuring things out. So we were able to be there. And, I was able to go back to play with Tigger for a few more times at the Crystal Palace. But that one was fun for me, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, cool. Well, I didn't realize we were talking work stories too, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about one. This one is really old, but it's one of my favorite Disney stories. And I'm going to tell a story of when Wishes opened, the great fireworks show that took place before the Happily Ever After one that is currently running at the Magic Kingdom, or was running at the Magic Kingdom prior to the COVID-19 closure. So we'll see what type of fireworks shows that they start doing and whatnot. But so this might be a good story just to kind of remember the fireworks that used to go off nightly here in the Orlando area. But back in 2003, Disney first presented Wishes, its fireworks show, and there were some upgrades to the fireworks systems that this fireworks show brought forth with it. So one of those was the fireworks on either side of the castle, the nice shooting ones, the fan ones. So you had, and I remember the very first time I watched it, and you're in line with everybody on Main Street, right? And those go off, and it was the first time anybody had seen it that close within the park, and everybody went, just the gasp there. But I was in entertainment at the time, but I had worked in Main Street operations prior to being in entertainment, and I worked in what they call parade audience controls, or PAC. So I was just one of these people that would help direct traffic around the parades and shows and whatnot to make sure that fire lanes stay open and people know what to do and where to go and move to other sides of the ropes and whatnot to keep these traffic lanes open. So I was in entertainment and I picked up an extra hour shift for some overtime on Main Street Ops. And it was the second night that Wishes had opened. So they were giving anybody overtime because they just needed people to help direct people. And the first night that they had released it for guests, there was fights on the train station for viewing spots and fights on Main Street. And there was just, the streets were packed. What?
I'm like, people, it's not that serious.
Oh, it was serious. It was very serious. But anyways, so I picked up a shift and they put me in the main walkway under the ice cream shop. And by what main walkway, on either side of the road, the audience control people will set up walkways to direct traffic along the shop so people can enter and exit the parks. Because basically a parade is blocking the main thoroughfare into the Magic Kingdom, Main Street USA. And now they've expanded and there's walkways behind Main Street on one of the sides that help kind of deal with that traffic. But it's always been an issue that the parks have, which is why they come up with those traffic control solutions. But with that being said, the second night of Wishes, it started to rain. So it was 2 Spectro night, which was the nighttime parade, right? So the first parade comes through and it starts to like sprinkle. And the parade's in and it's fine, all is well, right? And then here is everybody. And the park had over 50,000 people in it at the time. For the Magic Kingdom at that time was a lot of people. With the new Fantasyland and whatnot, they can fit over 80,000 people in that park probably on New Year's when they're all crammed in there for fireworks. But anyways, so you've got over 50,000 people in one location and they're all pretty much there to watch the new fireworks show. And the parade has ended, so they're all packed the street and it's sprinkling, right? So I'm under the ice cream shop and I'm like, this isn't good. And I'm under the overhang, keeping the main walkway clear along the stores. And so me and some other people were up there and we're just directing traffic. We had these light up flashlights to help people keep walking. And then the fireworks start, right? And it's Wishes. And the show goes off without a hitch, but it's sprinkling the whole time. And as soon as the fireworks show ends, 50,000 people turn and start to leave the park because it's raining. Well, right as the fireworks end, the final finale, bam, 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 torrential downpour. So they're all leaving and I'm standing under the ice cream shop roof and you can't really see the guests leaving because it's raining that hard. And they're all trying to get out of the park. Well, if you've ever been to the Magic Kingdom, you know that under the train station was two breezeways, and you have one on either side, and that's the only way to get in and out of the park to get to the monorails or the ferry boat. Well, 50,000 people are trying to leave at the same time. It's torrential downpour, and all of a sudden it stops. No one's moving on Main Street. They can't leave at all. And finally we hear a voice behind us, and it's the manager. He's like, we need some help in Town Square. There's people can't get through. And so we go back through the back way. And we weren't doing what they used to call it blow off and blow in or blow, but then they changed it because it sounded dirty, so it was blow. Yeah. So it was anyway. So we ran back behind Main Street up to Town Square, and no one was leaving because all of the strollers. So everybody that was leaving was just ditching their strollers, and it had clogged up these 2 breezeways. So under each breezeway, you only had a trickle of single file line. So 50,000 people are trying to exit single file from the Magic Kingdom in a torrential downpour because all the strollers are blocking. So we just start grabbing strollers and we're moving them out of the way. We're moving the strollers and I'm just sopping wet, right? Because I didn't have time to put on my rain gear. So I'm just sopping wet, and we're just trying to have fun with it. Hey, it's just a little Florida sunshine. And all the guests are soaked too because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. They're just stuck in the rain.
Just sounds like another regular day here in Florida.
I know, it's just and in the theme parks, those days can be pretty common and pretty regular. Yeah. So we start moving all of these strollers. We finally get them out of the way. People start leaving, and the rain starts lightening up, and finally, everybody leaves and the park closes. But the second parade didn't go out because it was raining so much. They couldn't even get Main Street cleared because there was. Because basically by the end of the fireworks, the parade's going to step off in about a half an hour. And there was just no way they're going to step that parade off. And they probably didn't even have the floats preset back behind Main Street to go off for that night. So for that second parade. So that's one of my first Disney working. I'd worked there for about 8 months at that point. But 10 months, almost a year, because I was an yeah. So anyways, your next story, sir?
All right, well, since you brought up wishes and a park, I guess we're staying at the Magic Kingdom today. So one of my favorite fireworks shows was actually Wishes, but it was there. And every time the fairy godmother would say, let's put all hearts together and make a wish come true. Or, yeah. Was it wish come true? Yeah.
Wish come true.
No, she wouldn't say that.
Oh, I'm thinking of the old castle show where everybody would chant.
Yeah, no.
That was
anyways,
surprise celebration.
So during that part, and that's when like the big fireworks would go off, like the big wide glittery ones that would kind of slowly rain down. I would always wish for my parents to be there. This is kind of one of those cute, milky kind of stories. So it's not going to be funny, but it's going to be like, oh, that's cute. But back to the story. But every single time that I watched those fireworks, I would always wish to see the fireworks show with both my parents there. And it was probably 3 years later when I had, I was in a relationship and I was married. For those of you that don't know, I was married before this guy.
I'm okay. I got it now.
We all learn things from other people, and we learn our lessons. But so that's where we had the wedding. It was a Disney wedding. So all of my family was actually, well, not all of it, but my mom and dad, my brother, my cousin, the ones that could make it actually went to Disney. And we were just walking up through Main Street, and then I was like, wait, the fireworks are about to start. And then it clicked. I was like, oh, I get to watch the show with my parents here. And not just my parents, but my brother is here and my cousin is here. And it was the best thing ever. Like, I was like bawling my eyes out, and like they didn't really understand. And I was like, every single time that I watched the show without you guys being here, I've always wished to see it with you guys. And then they started crying too in it. So, it's one of those cute moments that I would never forget. And that's why that fireworks show meant a lot to me, because there was that connection that I had with it, that big memorable moment that I had. So that's my story with Wishes.
Nice. For my next story, I'm going to take us to Universal, to Halloween Horror Nights. And last year was the first year. That was a nice family-oriented story. Theme parks are really great for family and friends. And so, but last year was the first year for Halloween Horror Nights that I did it with a group. So I've done Halloween Horror Nights for years. I've worked it. I've gone in pairs, and I've gone, with 2 or 3 people here and there. But as far as a large group, I think there was 11 of us, 10 or 11 when we went. Am I just?
Yeah, it was like 10 to 12 people, I think.
Yeah, but it was really great. So there was a few friends, Tiffany, Carl, Alicia, that we're pretty close with, and then they all had some friends that they had brought along with them that a few of them we'd met before, to the comedy show and some other places. So we were familiar with pretty much everybody in the group. And but it was the first time that like going through a house, and there were so many different personalities in the group, and everybody was responding to the scares in different ways, and that we ended up having all these inside jokes. And it was a really great experience for me, because I'd never done it in a group that large before. I've been to the event for years and years, and I had never taken advantage of doing it with such a big group. And of course we had, some drinks here and there. And actually one of the best experiences was on the Transformers ride.
Yep.
Because we basically had one of the vehicles to ourselves. And there was a couple of just random single riders that were shoved in the vehicle with us. But like I said, all the different personalities and the commentary, I laughed on that attraction, and it's not even one of my favorite attractions at Universal. It's got some cool technical elements. I'm not a huge fan of the franchise, but the ride technically is amazing. But it was just so funny, and we laughed the whole time.
I think it was more the people's reaction to
it was
the special effects. Because out of nowhere, somebody will go like, woo, and then somebody would just like scream like in fear, and then the other one would just be laughing.
Yeah.
And then somebody behind us was just laughing with us too.
And there was some commentary here like, whoa, look at that, you know. Like,
but it was, I think that was actually one of the best rides that I actually had on that attraction, just because of the people that you were with.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a big difference on your experience in the parks. If you're out with people that you don't really, they're just complaining about things or just whining or just really not, it's not going to be fun.
Right.
So you got to make sure that you surround yourself with people that are going to have fun, that even though they've done it before, they're like, let's just bring it up to another level and let's just have fun and just, you know.
If you're going to a theme park, you're going for escapism. You're going to step outside of the world that you currently live in so that you can get just a breath of fresh air of something fantasy, or it's escapism. That's, I mean,
especially if you paid a regular admission cost.
Yeah. Which we did for that HHN night. Universal did have some issues that we commented on for them, but needless to say, it was an amazing experience, and it was surrounding yourself, like Jose said, with those people that are just good in your life, and going out and having these experiences with them is incredibly important, and that helps support the escapism, right? You want them to have it too and have a great time, and I think that night was a good example of just a really great experience.
You know, you have a good time when the park's close and you're just taking your sweet time leaving because you don't really want the night to end.
No.
You're like, well, you guys want to go to eat next?
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're kind of tired, but we don't want it to end, but let's just take our time walking out.
Yeah, it was a good night.
But it was a great night.
It was a really great night. So that's all that we have for you this evening. Please continue to like and share these videos. We're getting ready to post a couple new little highlight videos. Like I said, we're getting ready to film some new footage, so we're still pulling from some stuff that we've had.
Yep.
But you should see those videos in the next couple of days. Please find one that you love and share it with the people that you love and say, hey, these guys are doing some really cool stuff. Go ahead and check it out. We really appreciate the support and the ongoing, words of encouragement. It's been really great to have from everybody. So thank you so much for going on this journey with us and continuing to go on it with us. And thank you for everything.
Yeah.
So one last time before we leave you, I'm going to show you the bottle of wine that we're enjoying tonight. It is the Dreaming Tree Pinot Noir 2018. And like I said, this is the one that's promoted by Dave Matthews. I just bought this at a regular supermarket. It's a regular wine, not too expensive. On Vivino, it was 3.5 stars or something like that. So it's not too bad as far as the ratings go.
You know what the funny thing is? I think they're almost done with the roof right now.
And the video's done, of course. I mean, that just sounds about right. So,
yep.
But thank you so much for joining us. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jose.
And you guys have an amazing Monday night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.